Long my imprisoned spirit lay, fast bound in sin and nature's night. Thine eye diffused a quickening ray. I woke, the dungeon flamed with light. My chains fell off, my heart was free. I rose, went forth, and followed thee. It's Charles Wesley. Dad went into the army after college. Before that, he had grown up on a little farm in rural Mississippi, with pre-dawn chores to do. Mom grew up all of 15 minutes away, in another small town, and her father was a woodworker and ran a cabinetry business. As a child, I learned to tell the difference between the sound of Mom's footsteps coming down the hall in the morning to wake me and Dad's. My parents had very different wake-up procedures. Dad's was all army and farm. He'd immediately flip on the light switch, bark loud orders, and yank the sheets off. But Mom's approach was decidedly more genteel. She'd tiptoe in, leaving the lights off, sit beside me on the bed, and softly shaking my shoulder, she'd tell me that it was time to get up. As an adult, I don't use an alarm clock. I don't own one. My phone sleeps at the other end of the house. I'm a very slow waker-upper. But I don't close the shades on my bedroom window because I love the gradual approach of dawn. As the early light silently pours in to fill the room. I can't help but wonder if God crafted the gentle arrival of dawn and dusk to bear witness to his own preferred style of approach. Jesus' first advent in Bethlehem was like that. For those who rest in him, his second advent may not seem so startlingly sudden as it will to those who are drunk on darkness. Dawn is a headache to the hungover. But for the prodigal son, like the Samaritan woman, every step towards the moment of waking was hard. Long night stumblings beneath the shadows of darkness. Light would be a threat because it would mean exposure. We were created naked and unashamed, and we long to wind up there. But who can face the possibility of essential rejection? The explosion of light, our coverings violently yanked off, naked and shamed. Isn't it curious then that Jesus is described as a groom approaching his beloved bride, a groom who lovingly coaxes his frightened dove out of her hiding place in the cleft, a groom who, as he prepares a place for us, has patiently offered a long betrothal season, too long it feels like, so we might acclimate by way of the slow approach of that level of intimate exposure that would otherwise be too overwhelming. Here is a groom who washes us with water and the Word and through the Word, who tenderly feeds, nourishes, and cares for his beloved, who, when he does pull back the coverings, does so gently, like the slow approach of dawn. I wonder whether what will suddenly startle us is not in the dawn, but finding the clothes that fall from us upon meeting the groom to be the ragged shadow garments of shame. Good riddance. The bright garment of his gaze will be our new and only adornment, clothing us in purity. For to the pure one, all things are pure. And these are the lyrics to this song, I See a Light. I see a light. I see a light like a spear thrust through the gloom. I hear a voice. I hear a voice like a song in the middle of the field of war. I see a table. I see a table set for the hungry in their time of need. I feel a touch, a gentle touch, brush like a breeze in the desert heat. And with all my strength I turned my face and found you were facing me. You saw me naked there when my shame fell round my feet. It fell round my feet. I hear a song. I hear a song kindled in my stricken heart. I learned a dance. I learned a dance and a music I'd not known to look for. I nearly gave up. I nearly gave up, so great the flood of evil that arose. But then the tide turned, and I heard laughter. The only unconfused one comes to judge. So that's from the song I See a Light from Only the Lover Sings, which is the first book in the Well Trilogy. The second book is A Tale of Two Trees. And in September, the third book, Where the River Goes, and the third album, Where the River Goes, will be coming out. So we're working on that right now. The essayists are working on their essays, writing their chapters, and then I'm also working on the songs, getting the songs recorded. And this song, I See a Light, in this first book, Amy Baik Lee wrote the chapter called The Sound of Eucatastrophe, and it's so beautiful. So you should definitely get a copy of the book, read Amy's essay, and the songs are all on my YouTube channel, where you can subscribe. And I'm putting all of these readings that I'm doing, I'm putting all of these on my YouTube channel, so you can go there and you can rewatch them, and they're in a playlist, so you could listen through basically the whole album of these little song introductions and lyrics. And then, of course, all the songs are on Spotify and Amazon and everywhere. And on my website, MatthewClark.net. Also, sign up for my mailing list, because I'm about to send out a newsletter this week to keep folks updated on what's going on with these albums and all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll keep doing this leading up to the release of the third album. Thanks so much for listening. Get a copy of Only the Lover Sings and A Tale of Two Trees. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.